Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to it. Another amazing episode of the Pitchside podcast. And today I'm with Mauda.
Sure, Naves.
Solely resident here.
Yeah. I'm part of the furniture now.
Yeah, the other side, they don't invite you.
Which side?
Stay here.
Which
Trophies are here at Lorkop.
Which side?
The other side.
Oh, that one.
That 6-month spell side.
Don't take it there.
Thank you very
Stay
much for
better.
joining us again.
Thank you.
We're going into a game now playing against AmaZulu, coming back off winning 2-0 in the Champions League, and once again then confirming that we have qualified for the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Is there a big adjustment that needs to take place when you move from Champions League to the DStv?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Champions League is a bit tricky, and they were playing away. But it's good that they won and they can look forward to the next game against AmaZulu.
Yeah.
But I think the most important thing that they can take out of that Champions League game was that Lodge scored.
Yes.
I mean, that takes the monkey off his shoulder.
Yeah.
You know?
Is that the Nyoso you want to see?
That's the Nyoso we want to see.
Yeah.
The Nyoso that scores, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm happy for him and I'm happy for the team, and I hope this will just be a kickstart for him to, you know, to have a successful career here.
Yeah.
And obviously, probably by now they should be thinking of the AmaZulu game on Tuesday, and Sundowns is always ready. Sundowns always prepares whichever game they play.
Speaking on Lodge, when you moved from the other side to Sundowns, is there a big adjustment that you had to make?
Not really, but I moved from the other side. Remember, it was the other side and the small side and the small side and then this side.
Yeah.
You know, but it's always an adjustment because Sundowns always signs good players.
Yes.
You know, so when you come here, you can't come here and think to yourself that you're going to play. You need to prove it first. You need to convince the coach. You need to convince your teammates as well, so that they can trust you when you play with them. So it's in that sense, it's an adjustment, but I would think Lodge has the quality, has the experience now, and you know, he has the heart for a big team like this.
Yeah. We saw the return of some of the players who had gone to AFCON. We saw Madiba, Mokoena, Zwane all come back.
Yeah.
How did you think they fared in the game?
I'm not happy they came back.
Okay.
Because they're going to play in the league and it's going to be the same thing again. Sundowns is going to win. You know? But I'm happy for the team that they're back, and you know, they played well in the AFCON. They've gained obviously a lot of experience, and they should have improved wherever. I mean, in the AFCON it's a big tournament, and I think the coach will be happy that they are back and now they can just steamroll towards the championship of the league, you know, and that's the one thing they would want to achieve, and obviously to go to the quarterfinals of the Champions League and win. And I think everyone at Sundowns is happy that they are back, and they played a very pivotal role in the AFCON.
Yeah, Coach Rulani spoke about the importance of a player like Bongani Zungu, and now you see him playing in what they term the hybrid role.
Yeah.
So it's a centre back come number
Midfield.
6. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pep Guardiola stuff.
Yeah.
I know Rulani likes Pep.
Yeah.
So I think Bongani has the qualities for that.
Yes.
Because he can play, he's a midfielder, he's a bit tall, and he can also defend.
Yeah.
So I would think that position would suit him very well, you know. But he's gonna try it here and beat people 6-0. It's for me, for the Champions League, yeah. But for the league, I think the league is wrapped, man. It's just
No,
a
it's
bit
not
not nice to talk
we
about
don't
the
want
league
to.
because
We don't want to lose. We're going for the
Invincibles.
Invincibles.
Oh, yeah, if that's the case, then by all means they should do that. They'll be the first team in South Africa to do that. No? That would be great. That would be nice.
Rewriting history.
Do they get more money after that?
Hey, we're not going to Chalet. We're facing an AmaZulu team that has just come back off a win as well. They played Royal AM, and they won their last game 1-0. So their confidence is also high.
Yeah, they're a bit inconsistent for me.
Okay.
I mean, so I think in the last 5 games they lost 2, won 2, and drew 1. So that's not a team that would look forward to playing Sundowns now, you know. So I don't see Sundowns having problem in that game. But you know, when teams play Sundowns or in the bigger games, they tend to up their level and want to match Sundowns. But it's AmaZulu has just been too inconsistent for me to think they can pose anything against Sundowns.
But looking at it, right, they have 2 former players, and we currently have a player that is on loan to them.
Yeah.
Do you think that will play any part in it? Because if you ask me as a coach, I would say, Emana, you've been working that system there. How do we beat this thing?
Go and show them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they let you go here.
Yeah.
So what does that say?
No, but
it means
for
the
example,
ones that are
you've
left
been
behind.
practicing. So, for example, if you've been here, call it 2 years,
Yeah.
and you've been coached by Coach Rulani, then you now go on loan. Would it not make sense for you as the opposition's coach to then sit there and say, hey, you've been there for 2 years. What do you think, or how do you think we can break the system?
Yeah, but as a coach, I think you should go into games with your own system.
Definitely.
You can't rely on the weaknesses of the other team to coach your team.
Okay.
So he would need to go into this game with a certain system. Whether that system suits the players that are there on loan or the players that were here before, it's all good for them. But Sundowns is just a team that is on their level. Maybe they're 3-4 levels above the rest of the teams in the Premier League. So I would think they probably the players that were here, the coach would know them. He would do the same and say, if this one plays, we know how he plays and whatnot. So it's just for teams to just go in there and do what they need to do.
Yeah. If you're chairman of the opposition, what do you think needs to be done to catch up, bridge the gap?
Yeah, it all boils down to money, eh?
You think so?
Yeah.
Because you can't buy success. We've recently heard Coach Johnson say you can't buy the success, because there was a stage where we were purchasing a lot of players, but we didn't have the results.
Yeah, but you can't buy success, but you can buy the right players and bring in the right coach. And remember, in football, there's no best coach.
Okay.
There isn't the best coach in football. A good coach is only made up of the players he has. That's why top coaches is everywhere. Pep Guardiola goes to a certain club, he buys a right back for 50 million, a left back. You know, that's the quality that you want. And I would think at Sundowns also, they buy the best players. And if you have the best players in your team, it augurs well for you to win everything, you know.
But they still need to be then coached. And
yes,
team.
that's why I
And
say you
that's
need to get the right players and the right coach for your club. And maybe they can catch up to a Mamelodi Sundowns. But now I don't see anyone.
Interesting. Going into the AmaZulu game, do we keep the same lineup or do we change it?
I would want to see the AFCON boys.
Okay.
Yeah. When they play, Sundowns is unstoppable. Yeah. So that's if we are going to the Invincibles era, the AFCON boys have to play.
But we're at a stage where, for example, we can't play Mvala, we can't play Modal because of injuries.
Yeah.
But the guys have stepped up. Divine Longa has stepped up. He's been amazing.
Yeah.
And the guys have come to the party. Bongani Zungu now playing at that centre back role. So outside of them, I think everybody else is back. Tapelo Mrena is also back.
Yeah. I would. Well, they can't play because of injuries, but there's equally good players that can play, which is fine for the team. And as long as your Mshishis are back, they're not injured. The Tebuchos, they're not injured. They're there. They need to play, and Tebucho will just boss the midfield like he does.
Does it not stress you out, or rather, not even say stress you out, make you uncomfortable that we, for example, there was the game before we had all the players back where it didn't look as good on the eye. It wasn't.
Yeah.
The ball wasn't moving, wasn't rotating as well as it does when we have those guys on the team.
Yeah, but at least we didn't lose. You know, it's always not nice to have your full squad to rely on. And I mean, every team everywhere, they have their strongest players. They have their strongest 11, and then the other ones are subs. But if they come in, they should replicate what the first 11 does.
Yeah.
So maybe given a chance, the team that played in the previous games when the internationals were not there, I think if given a chance, they can still do well. But it's always important to have your best players.
Yeah. The Spanish guitar.
Esquivel is the team.
Yeah, he's there.
Great player. Good player.
Mendieta,
Good player. I know Mendieta. What Mendieta play?
Allende.
Allende he's like he's a dynamite. You know, he's so small, nippy. He can play. He can score. He can initiate an attack. I like him.
Yeah.
And Escobar, I like him because he's left-footed. I'm left-footed, so
Yeah.
I like him. And he scored a nice free kick in the net bank. So
Yeah.
good player. I like him. Sereno, we all know what he can do.
Yeah.
You know, whether he comes off the bench or he starts games, we all know what he can do.
Yeah. Can you imagine now, and then you add Ribeiro into that lineup?
That's why I say it's just too much for other teams.
They
It's
won't
a bit too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit too much. Even for the other teams to try and thingy and think of who's gonna play.
Yeah.
It's difficult
becomes
for
very
them.
difficult.
Yeah.
So rather plan for the system and not for the players.
I would think that would be the perfect thing for them to do.
Indeed. Score prediction?
AmaZulu at home at 2-0, 3-0.
You give them no chance.
AmaZulu?
Yeah.
Why? They don't give themselves a chance.
I'm felt so. You're on the right side now. Trophies are here.
Yeah, of course.
Looking at the comments on YouTube, we have one here from Lucas Tulare who says, please educate us. What is the Sundowns official with a suitcase doing in the center of the pitch at Loftus before a game? Any guesses? Ival. Because I can see where it's going already.
Okay.
So if you've seen, back in the day, you guys used to wear a heart rate monitor,
Yeah.
which would literally go just around the chest
Yeah.
to monitor how you're doing on the field of play. So with the development of technology, there's now a vest that the guys put on. Some people might describe it as a ngarapra, but it's a sports football vest. And what it does is it monitors heart rate, kilometers, heat maps, and so forth. So what happens is just before the game goes on, the gents are put in with this monitor at the back of the vest.
The vest, yeah.
And what that guy is doing is then he's getting the signal on the field to make sure that all of them pick up all around the field. So in that way, you get better statistics and information on players. So how many kilometers they've run, where are the heat maps, where are they spending a lot of time during the game, heart rate, and a lot of other important information.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Not
So
the other
Sundowns
stuff.
is on another level. They're somewhere up there on their own. And the other teams, when they see that guy walking with the briefcase, already they are thinking special project. Big up to Sundowns.
Shout out to
Setting
that.
trends.
Yeah. Joel Malinga says, mark my words, the score will be 5-0 to Sundowns.
It's possible.
Yeah?
It's possible. I played in a Sundowns game against AmaZulu and we beat them 6-1. So it's possible.
Anything is possible. It's football.
It's possible.
Yeah.
But the Sundowns win is a must.
Yeah. King Flunk says this year is definitely going to be our year. I think he also believes in the Invincibles.
Yeah, it's always been Sundowns years since Kingdom Come. When was the last time the other team won a league?
Yeah. Demru says Sundowns' mandate is bigger than Sundowns itself, but it must be about our local South African football. Bafana and an advert to international attraction. Thanks to you guys for setting the trend and leaving the jersey respectable. It's a lot of pressure.
He put it so nicely that I always say when I talk about South African football that if we were to compete internationally, especially with the national team, we need to have a strong Sundowns, a strong the other black team, and a strong yellow team, because they are big teams.
Yeah.
If those have a pool of players where the national team can select from, then the national team will be stronger.
We've definitely seen it. I mean, even Egypt at some stage when they were winning on the continent, most of their players came from the two big clubs.
Yes.
Spain, Germany, a lot of the...
I can give you a long list of countries that won the World Cup.
Yeah, definitely.
Same.
Do you think that an African team does stand a chance of winning a World Cup?
The inconsistency in African teams is so big that I wouldn't see an African team winning the World Cup. Not in our lifetime. The inconsistency is just so big. I mean, a team that
In our lifetime.
No.
I mean, I still have a long life ahead of me, so you can't say that.
Lifetime. It's not like you're gonna live for 100 years.
How do you know?
I know.
Let me not even ask.
You eat yogurt.
Masandawana, thank you very much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments. We are Sundowns.